And we are live. Hey guys, welcome back. This is Brad and Kyla with Dallas
Hi.
Geek. How y'all doing? Kyla, how you doing today?
I am making it, Brad. My leg is currently bothering me and I have to sit on it because, yeah, I decided to go get a tattoo yesterday and now sitting is just uncomfortable. It's on the back of my thigh.
Well, I mean,
how are you, Brad?
good. Don't really have any tattoo issues, but I guess that's just something we all learn to go with. So,
Something like that.
cool. But with that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If this is your first time, please do not forget to follow us over on Facebook. And of
Here,
course,
I'm gonna get it right one day immediately.
Yeah.
First try.
that is right, yeah. And then, of course, don't forget to hit the little subscribe button. Should be popping up on the screen right about here on YouTube. And, of course, like the video, because that always helps with the YouTube and Facebook algorithms. Make our internet masters happy. Which actually feels more appropriate saying that, considering what we're about to talk about. And of course, if you like our content but don't always have time for video, you can find our live streams and interviews in audio over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. So, awesome.
All the options.
Yeah. But with that, what are we talking about, Kyla?
We're talking about if Fight Club held up to today's standards or not for making it a modern audience.
Which, no reason at all to feel nervous talking about this subject. Whether because of...
Yeah,
no.
We're already breaking the first rule of Fight Club, so,
Yeah, definitely no segment of the internet that holds this movie dear whatsoever.
No,
and
there's no internet bear to worry about by talking about this. It's no big deal.
No, and also nothing about real life could possibly come back to bite us on this movie. Nope.
No, I think we're fine. I think we're good.
But yeah. So Fight Club. Could it actually hold up? Honestly, if we'd talked about this movie on Friday, I would have had one answer, but I think my answer's actually changed over the weekend.
Really? Okay, so what would your answer have been on Friday then?
No.
No, okay.
I feel like if you had asked me Friday or earlier, I think I would have said no, this movie could not hold up with today's audience because you have too much of it that relies heavily on the uber masculine stereotypes that have kind of become a bit outdated for a lot of the high school to college age demographic that this movie is focused on. And you have a lot of the subjects in this movie feel almost repetitive compared to some of the other movies that have come out since. It almost would feel redundant today. However, if you ask me today, I'd say I think it actually would hold up, just because the psychological twist aside, I think there may be a slight appetite for a little bit of anarchy in your entertainment right now. So I feel like it might actually have a solid chance.
I agree with you, but for different reasons.
Okay.
So I think the twist in it would be meh, because there's been so many movies with a twist now that it's just kind of like, oh, there had to be a twist because there's no other option now with today's movies. There's always something that changes in the middle of it.
Yep.
It is what it is. But looking at how open people talk about mental health in today's age, and how people are more likely to discuss it, or other people are more aware of it, still there is like some lack of better putting it. There's piss poor awareness in some cases, or understanding of what something actually is. But I think that aspect of the movie would actually have some people really clinging to it.
You know, that's pretty fair, honestly. Yeah, because even if you wanted to say that the portrayal of split personalities, spoilers,
it came out, what, 21 years ago now? Was it also 99, like Boondock Saints? Maybe?
We'll
I'll
find
check.
out.
You talk.
But, yeah, no, I mean, even
Even
if you wanted to say that it was a bit of an over-exaggerated, overblown portrayal of it, it's still something that would be bringing the subject to light in the public discourse, and could actually be potentially turned into something seen as positive for at least a segment of the community. Potentially.
Yeah, so I mean, like, the coverage of... It's the only thing with split personality, which is words. Something identity disorder. I can't remember. Dissociative?
Yeah.
Dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that doesn't really form unless there hasn't been any cases where it formed in later life. It usually is tied to like childhood or teenage trauma.
Yes.
That happened to the person who has it. So that part, but maybe at least the disassociating portion of like almost look like you have like the outer body experience, which those who've had mental health issues or experience them frequently understand what I'm getting at, where you like disassociate from yourself and just feel like you're watching someone else, quite literally in some cases in scenes of this movie.
Yeah.
Doing things that you just don't feel connected to anymore, to where like you're like, yeah, that's not me even doing it.
Yeah.
I think just the disassociating portion, not necessarily looking at split personality idea, but like just disassociating from what's actually occurring.
Okay.
Could very well ring a bell with some people.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, even movies...
Didn't think you were going to get mental health knowledge, did you, today?
Well, I mean, even
you're learning.
Even movies that do portray mental disorders with a more dramatic flair, like, say, Split, for example.
Split. So good.
Even if the portrayal is not necessarily realistic in certain regards, or the way that it is used for the plot of the movie is a bit... we'll say excessive, it still has the ability to start a conversation, at the very least as a learning point, to be able to say, okay, so this is a thing you need to know about. It's not exactly the way that they're showing it in the movie, but now we can talk about it and try to figure out what it actually is, and then more and more people will discuss it. Because, I mean, even in Split, the portrayal of DID was not exactly what you would call uber realistic, but enough of it was realistic enough that it didn't feel like it was being disingenuous or insulting.
Yes.
While at the same time was able to start conversations, and then the over-dramatized aspects of it, you know, the plot aspects of it, were able to be enjoyed for the Hollywoodified bits that it was, but conversations still happened around that, and you didn't exactly see a mass of the community speaking out against the movie, saying that it was an atrocity against people with that disorder. So, Fight Club might actually be able to fit the same mold if it were to come out today.
Okay.
So, no, I think that is a pretty fair assessment of that, yeah. But, No, I don't know. I think the anarchist twist on it as well would be.
Also, yes.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, it's not exactly, like full on, like Mad Max in the Thunderdome level, tear it all down and see what happens kind of anarchy, but it's still it still feels like it's heading in that direction by the end of it. So I mean,
yeah, because I mean, isn't it end up in the total almost like corruption of a couple of different like credit card corporations and dealing with capitalist America? And sounds a little bit too real.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly far off from some of the perspectives that exist right now. But yeah, no, there's a lot there. I mean, it's a lot to unpack anyway. But
I mean, yes,
yeah.
like yes, it's 2.5 hours of you sitting there going like, what is going on, and trying to like piece it together. Even upon like rewatching, you're trying to like, after you know everything's gonna happen, you know the twist in the end, you're trying to pick up on the little things that would have given you any sort of hint towards what the ending could have been, and it still makes you sit there and go like, what?
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Yeah.
Like I'm dumb. I still don't get like the soap portion is the only thing that really gets me. I'm like, I don't soap. Like soap.
Wait,
but
that's the part you never figured out?
That's the part that like just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't stick with me.
Glycerin.
The soap portion.
Glycerin.
I mean, I get that, but like I'm saying more just like, I guess, why did they pick soap is what my brain is trying to focus on, and like hyperfixated on the portion of.
Well, no, that it makes it an easy cover to be, because soap making, depending on how you do it, you can extract glycerin from it. So you have the semi-legit soap business to be able to sell, but you're also able to get part of the components that you need for dynamite.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, that was like the only thing that like really just. I was like, what the heck?
No, it is absolutely random, and obviously the sadistic element of trying to use rich people's fat to be able to sell back to them in a different form is obviously the imagery that was attempting to be evoked from it all. But I mean, like, there's a practical element that you can toss in too. Yeah.
Like that part made sense to me, like the whole cycle of the whole thing and everything. But it was always just like, why soap? Like that's the part that my brain, even today, when I was like thinking about, I was like, I feel so dumb. The soap part isn't clicking. My high school English teachers would be upset with me. Like,
I mean, I feel like the only way that the story could have gotten more on the nose about the symbolism of it would have been finding some way to take that used liposuction fat to be cooked back into meals to literally feed the rich back to themselves.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, maybe that was considered even too extreme for Chuck Palahniuk. But
even just when he taught it, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Although I don't know, honestly, if you I don't know if you've read any of Chuck's other books, but I mean, he doesn't exactly shy away from the extreme imagery.
I can imagine with other ones. I didn't read all of Fight Club. I kind of I had borrowed someone's copy, just try to get an idea sort of thing after actually watching the movie, because everyone's like, oh yeah, it's based off this book. I went, why don't I look at these things more often of what movies are based off books so I can read them and whatnot. But I was reading through it, and it was one of those books that was just almost tough to consume. If that makes sense.
Oh no,
and I was
get
you know what? I'm good. It's not too often I just put a book down, kind of do this number with it. Yeah. But that was one of those. I was kind of yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'll have to pass on this one, just because it was almost like reading. Oh gosh, what is the book? It's about the meat processing jungle.
Soylent Greens?
Concrete? No, hold on. You keep talking. I'm gonna look this up because I'm more for my personal satisfaction. But
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
I brought it up whenever y'all were doing your Halloween It is called The Jungle. Okay, I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
But it's looking at like the meat processing, everything. It's also like a allegory for capitalism and everything like that. So. I know things.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sometimes.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think the movie would still be just as problematic on a wide scale as it was when it came out originally, but if it were to be released for the first time today, yeah, no, I think even with, maybe even because of the extreme emotions that have been so prevalent for so long in society this year, last year, whatever, I think it would still have a pretty solid base to be received by. Maybe a little bit a wider audience that would be willing to accept it than the that high school, college age, primarily male demographic that it originally caught on
Girls
with.
Can like
but, yeah.
disgusting things too. I mean.
Sure.
I was gonna make a terrible joke, but I'm gonna move on from that. But do you think it would have? So I was kind of reading a little bit like interesting facts about Fight Club this morning, just to kind of like, these are interesting tidbits of knowledge.
Sure.
Originally, Fight Club had like an okay receiving in the box office,
Sure.
and then when it came to DVD, apparently is when it actually like
Yes.
blew up into what the internet is obsessed with now.
Yes.
Do you think it would have a similar sort of reception, like how it did that time where it was like box office was then almost hit like, I want to say cult classic because it was profitable and everything, but like cult levels of just like, you have to see Fight Club, dude. Like, have you not seen Fight Club? You gotta see Fight Club. Like, that sort of thing.
Well, I feel like if it was released today, it would actually have an advantage beyond what it had back in '99, with an easier time getting kind of that niche internet marketing that would be able to take advantage of some of the weirder things that the internet is capable of, just to be able to kind of give it that kind of out of left field feel to entice audiences to come to it. And I mean, it's already been seen repeatedly that movies that were meant to be provocative recently were able to, both just from word of mouth with people saying, no, don't see it, it's going to be disgusting, it's going to be horrible, it's an awful movie, you should be ashamed of yourself that it was even made in the first place. Between that and some kind of guerrilla digital advertising for it that throws out like the random like Joker's style videos onto the internet, like what you had with The Dark Knight, or just some random like countdown timers on a website for the movie, just not saying anything, just put the timer up and the branding or whatever. I think that would actually
marketing for like
play out
with how
well.
I can see how everyone gets into like DIY now. Like, let's be honest, with everything that's been going on, you can't tell me you've tried picking up a new hobby right now. I'm calling you out. I am. Like,
sure.
Not you necessarily, but like people watching.
That's fair.
I could see like marketing of like, make your own soap at home, but like you actually get the kit and it has like the basics of the basics, where you have to actually like work through to make it, not just the, okay, here's your basic soap and you need to go melt it in the microwave and then pour it in the mold. It's gonna be like, nah, you gotta extract this from this, extract this from this, and like do this sort of thing, and like actually put something together. I could see something like that.
The Tyler Durden DIY on how to make your own homemade soap.
Yeah, I mean,
presented by Tyler Durden in that kind of choppy, like home video feel.
Yeah, sort of thing, or like the instructions would be very like mixing. If you don't understand what mixing is, then like I can't help you from that point forward. Like sort of like snarky almost within the instructions. But I could see something kind of like that, and people like before the movie even came out be like, soap, like okay. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Trailer didn't mention anything about it, but like, okay, cool. Like, let's go for it. Like,
Yeah, no, I think
one of those like weird marketing campaigns. I think you're right that like it could easily play off of that.
yeah,
Or and like one of the things be like when you open it, it's like the first rule of this soap making DIY is don't tell anybody that you got it. The second rule is don't tell anybody that you got it, and then like just go on from there. And people think,
yeah, like
what?
yeah, no, I think the kind of niche marketing for movies that has come out in recent years and been very successful would actually benefit Fight Club today in a way that it never could have back in '99.
Okay.
In a way that honestly nothing comparable existed back then that could have given you a similar feel. So yeah, no, I think that really would be beneficial. I think the modern internet would be one of the best things for the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they wanted to make like modern adjustments to the movie to make it more relevant to the social media culture within the movie, and trying to make it a bit more effective to the modern audience than, you know, the order by catalog stuff that you saw in there. I mean,
like Amazon delivery.
Yeah, it would take like
or,
such little adjustments to make it
or
still relevant.
The dang support groups would be like Zoom calls. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, no, I
But-
think it absolutely could work. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could see, like, instead of it being IKEA that he's complaining about, just like, oh, you know, I bought into the IKEA, what did he call himself? It's like IKEA obsessionist or something to that effect. It's not exactly that, but how he, like, all of a sudden, he has, like, a really modern living room. He's like, this isn't me! Like, what the...
Yep.
But of course he doesn't know who he is, so much so that like he doesn't even have a name in the movie. And I was driving myself insane before I watched it again. And I was like, it's Tyler Durden and
The narrator. Yep.
And I watched it. I was like, oh yeah, no, he's just referred to as the narrator. That's all it is. Like he doesn't actually have a name. He's does not know who he is or where he fits in this world. That he doesn't even have his name. It's his freaking alternate personality has a name like Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Which is like the best name ever. It just sounds so basic and D-baggish.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. No, I mean, like I said, if we'd been talking about this last week, I think I would have had a slightly different perspective, because I feel like I would have had more hope that the anarchist...
There's no hope on the internet, Brad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, like there. Even a week ago, there was some hope that maybe the anarchist in all of us was maybe a little quieter than it used to be, but no. Yeah. So
I have comments, but you know that's for a completely other platform and topic, and yeah.
No, that's awesome.
I know. I laugh through my anxiety. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
The world's fine not going to the hell in a handbasket, and I'm not super jealous of the two gentlemen who got to ride in SpaceX to the International Space Station. Not at all. It's great.
Yep.
2020, y'all.
With that, okay, so I feel like we've pretty much
That got
come to the
really
same
dark really
conclusion.
fast.
Oh, I think that was always going to happen today.
I mean, okay, fair.
But yeah, so I feel like we've gotten about the same conclusion here, for slightly different reasons, but same general conclusion. So
But I think that's also what made the original release of Fight Club interesting, because so many people came out of the movie understanding what it was about, and some people were like, I'm gonna start a Fight Club. I'm like, no! That was not the point of the movie in this case.
Yeah.
So I mean, and other people had different interpretations of what happened and what was going on, blah blah blah, even then. So I mean, us having two different reasons why it might succeed, I think still speaks volumes of what the movie was.
Yeah, I mean,
Is.
some people can, I've heard people that have talked about the movie saying that it's overrated, that it's severely overanalyzed, and there's not really that much depth to it.
Mike. Direct your hate towards him. He's not here to defend us all the time.
Exactly. So please, down in the comments below, question of the day, tell Mike why he's wrong to hate Fight Club. Just please, just go down there, just tell him exactly why Fight Club is good, and that he's a terrible person for hating it.
I mean, he's a terrible person for other reasons, but like, that's neither here nor there. We still adore him, let's be honest.
Well, no.
Like...
I mean, we never said that him being a terrible person is a bad thing. Just, you know, having awful taste in movies is nothing to be ashamed of.
I'm the one with bad taste in movies. It's not him, I promise.
And if David was on here, I know he'd have a few words to say to Mike about his taste in movies.
He always does.
We had like a multi-day text thread back and forth with David, just explaining to Mike why his love for all things J.J. Abrams means that you know, he loves trash movies. So
did that start after we rewatched Super 8? Is that when it happened? Because we watched Super 8 and he was fangirling over it. He's like, lens flare on everything that happened in the movie. I was like, there's lens flare on the stars. Come on, dude. Like,
actually, surprisingly, that's not what started this time.
Okay.
It turned out it was actually because of our Memorial Day picks, and the fact that Dunkirk was one of our top 5 for Memorial Day suggestions. And David was able to somehow deftly pivot from bashing both of us for our Christopher Nolan love to turning straight into bashing Mike for his J.J. Abrams love, which was amazing how he did that, because you didn't see it coming, but there it was.
Not at all.
And yeah, it worked. And I'm sure whenever David sees this, if he actually ever gets this far into today's video, he will deeply appreciate that we had to bring him up yet again. So,
always.
David, if you ever see this, hi. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, because I feel like there's not much else that we can talk about regarding Fight Club without just going full on into like a play-by-play review of the movie, which might be a little excessive.
It's 2.5 hours, Brad. We don't have time.
Yeah. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. We always appreciate it. And of course, if you've made it this far, do not forget, if you have not seen our videos before, don't forget to follow us over on Facebook and subscribe. Hit the little subscribe button here on the screen over on YouTube. And don't forget to like the videos, both places, because it always helps us out.
It looks like a thumbs up.
And of course, if you are a returning viewer, thank you. We love having you here. We love having you back. Don't forget to share us with your friends. We'd love to hear their thoughts on everything too. And until next time, this has been Brad and Kyla with Dallas Geek saying, see ya.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.